Hello students, we'll continue with lesson 9, disaster management. Um, yes, I was on effects of disaster. So the disasters can bring lot of immediate and long-term effects on various sectors of a society. So what are the primary effects over here when we talk about the disaster? They occur as a result of the disaster itself. The effects of disaster can be primary, secondary and tertiary. So when we talk about the primary effects, they occur as a result of the disaster itself. I mean, the damage which is done during a flood or an earthquake. When we talk about a secondary effect of disaster, they occur because of the primary effects. So there is disruption of electric power, water services as a result of earthquakes, the fire is ignited. Then when we talk about the tertiary is there are the long-term effects as a result of primary and secondary. So here there are storms, there are permanent changes in the position of river channel, loss of home, adverse effects on tourism in earthquake affected areas. So here all of these, there are three kinds of effects, primary, secondary and tertiary effects which is there. Then we'll talk about disaster management. Now, when we talk about disaster management, in all the examples of disasters given in the table, disasters like gas leakage and rail accident could have been prevented. Disasters like volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, earthquakes cannot be prevented, but their effect can be reduced. Events like cyclones and floods can now be forecast because of all the advancements which is happening around the world or in the world. They can be now be forecast and people can be evacuated from vulnerable areas. This process of creating awareness about disasters, taking steps to reduce its effects, evaluating the damage caused by the disasters, providing relief, food and medical aid in affected areas involves many people, organizations, and processes. You all have seen certain calamities or the floods which had happened 2 years ago. What was the scene wherein the city, Pune city itself is concerned? So, how they helped out in certain areas? Disaster management is a multidisciplinary task which in the following task is preparedness, monitoring, early warning and mitigation, evacuation, search and rescue, providing relief in terms of medical help, basic needs such as food, clothes and shelter, reconstruction and rehabilitation. Disaster management seeks to reduce to damages or losses. It focuses on the hazard that causes the disaster and attempts to minimize. What does this management basically do? It seeks to, the main focus is to reduce the risk of damages or losses and attempts to minimize the adverse impact of the things on communities. It involves coordination from governments, local self-governments in local areas in that particular region, police, military, paramilitary forces, NGOs, doctors, scientists, planners, volunteers, all of them come together under this disaster management cycle, okay? And groups of communities. Now, when I told you all there are certain more consequences of disasters, what can they be wherein health is concerned? Physical, that is entanglement, injuries, disabilities, coma, and death. Psychological, I've already discussed with you all, cognitive and behavioral and social. What about the structural damage? To a certain extent, to ecological dimension, wherein there are changes in the ecosystem. The last chapter I told you how things change. Economical, definitely financial losses, and this is something which cannot be sufficed with for a longer period. So when I started with disaster management. What does this mean? The body of policy and administrative decisions and operational activities that pertain to various stages of disaster at all levels. An applied science which seeks by systematic observation and analysis of disasters to improve measures relating to prevention, emergency response, recovery and mitigation. It encompasses all aspects of planning for and responding to disasters, including both pre and post disaster activities. Now, what is a disaster management and what more information can we gather about disaster management? It is a continuous and integrated process of planning, organizing, coordinating and implementing measures which are necessary or expedient for what? Prevention of danger or threat of any disaster, reduction of risk of any disaster or its severity or consequences, capacity building, preparedness to deal with any disaster, prompt response to any threatening disaster situation, assessing the severity or magnitude of effects of any disaster. Then evacuation, rescue and relief is a part of it. 100% rehabilitation and reconstruction, that also we'll be discussing in detail in the later class. What is integrated disaster management? Here the activities that reduce effects of disasters, building codes and zoning, vulnerability analysis, public education, mitigation, that's mitigation, preparedness is activities prior to disaster, preparedness of plans, emergency exercises, training, warning systems. Now we are quite acquainted with all this because we are somewhere prepared. Most of the developed countries follow this. How is the response going to be in an integrated disaster management? Activities during a disaster, public warning system. Yes, people are already warned about a particular disaster which is going to take place and how they are going to evacuate them, where are they going to be settled, how are the emergency operations going to be carried on. Recovery, basically activities following disaster, temporary housing, claims. Certain claims are also put forth, grants are given, there is some free medical care also given. What we are going to study more in detail is the disaster management culture, which is prevention, recovery, reaction, preparedness. So coming to this, basically we are going to understand now what does disaster management cycle mean. In disaster management, disaster prevention, disaster mitigation, as I told you all, is there, constitute the pre-disaster planning phase. Pre-disaster planning is the process of preparing in advance to face disasters in future. Disaster preparedness. Now, what is disaster preparedness? It involves measures taken to prepare for and to reduce effect of disasters. This include carrying out awareness campaigns, strengthening the weak structures, preparing plans for household and community level. For example, if a building catches fire, this is an example which you all have heard of when fires takes place. So what happens at that time? The first thing is people are rescued, fire is put off with the hose pipes, and they should know how to escape, from where to escape. So there are special now new constructions, they have special arrangements wherein if there is fire, and how can one escape that. So for example, if a building catches fire, its residents should know how to escape. For this to occur, they should be trained beforehand. People living in the flood prone areas should be prepared with items such as medicine, food, and water. It is the action taken to reduce or avoid disasters and their effects. It should be included in development policy and planning at regional, national, and international levels. It is a continuous process. Then coming to mitigation. Mitigation mainly means measures taken to minimize the impact of a disaster before it occurs. Mostly it refers to action taken against potential disasters. It is mainly carried out for those disasters which cannot be prevented. So some disasters which there is no solution to it, as in difficult to find a solution immediately. So which cannot be prevented, is that time mitigation is done. Mitigation efforts help the people by creating safer communities and reducing loss of life and property. Some mitigation measures can be community level disaster planning, means at that level, at the level of community. Public awareness on a large scale, wherein information campaigns are carried out. Then there is preparedness for hospitals, construction of houses from hazardous areas. Mitigation efforts can be categorized as structural or non-structural. Now, what are structural and non-structural? Structural efforts include construction of river embankments, strengthening existing buildings, whereas non-structural efforts include areas training in disaster management, regulating land use and public education. Now, these measures involve all possible steps to reduce the losses. See, the loss, you cannot fully recover from a loss, but how you can minimize a loss is what mitigation is basically all about. Basically, to minimize the impact of the disaster before it occurs. So, these measures involve all the possible steps to reduce the losses. For example, use of satellites in forecasting floods or cyclones can help in knowing the timing of their landfall. People can be evacuated from vulnerable areas. In the case of Cyclone Fani, effective mitigation efforts have helped to bring down the number of deaths. See, it's to reduce the impact of deaths, loss, property, all of that. Mitigation lessens the financial impact of disasters on government agencies. Disaster response. Coming to disaster response. What is disaster response? It is the way the community responds to the disaster. Though this is a post-disaster process, it reflects the preparedness of the community. It includes the immediate period after the disaster strikes. It is concerned with providing food and shelter. How do you respond after a disaster has taken place? So it is concerned with providing food and shelter to the disaster victims, restoring normal conditions, making conditions conducive for them to live, to just get over that shock, sometimes over a period of time, providing financial support through various organizations, volunteers, or individual people who want to just come forward and help them. Thus, those initiatives taken to ensure that the needs and provisions of victims are met and suffering is minimized are taken under this stage. The main focus in this disaster response is what, students, is making people feel safe till further measures are taken. Basically, to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel safe. Then we talk about recovery. In recovery, what are they saying in the text? These steps involve measure taken to bring life back to normal in affected areas as quickly as possible for them to overcome this grief. It's a psychological game, as in it plays on their mind. People who have been rescued and or who've gone through this big shock. This involves restoration of basic services and repair of physical, social, and economic damages, cleaning of the debris. I mean, as and how things become worse, and suppose if there's an earthquake which has taken place, buildings have fallen down or malls have just fallen down, and what are the debris, what are the remains? There are dead bodies, there's furniture, there are important documents which are there. Then cleaning of that area, giving financial assistance to victims, definitely basic needs, rice, dal, or sugar, something like that, soap, all of that to victims. Rebuilding roads, sometimes roads are just cut off, bridges are broken, so providing sustained medical care and to come over that grief. Some people have been hurt, some have been emotionally hurt, as we said, discussed about the symptoms what one goes through. So all of that, providing sustained medical care for displaced human and animal population is included in this stage. So just revising this, what is disaster mitigation? Again, understand these concepts very well. This involves lessening the likely effects of emergencies. These include, depending upon the disaster, protection of vulnerable population and structure. Example, improving the structural qualities of schools, houses and offer buildings so that medical casualties can be minimized. Similarly, making sure that the safety of these health facilities and public health services, including water supply and sewage systems, reduce the cost of rehabilitation and reconstruction. This mitigation complements the disaster preparedness and disaster response activities. Now, the phases of disaster management, basically we started off with disaster preparedness, the impact, the disaster response we'll be covering, disaster recovery and disaster mitigation I spoke to you all. Disaster preparedness is, in short, what is it? It is the ongoing multi-sectorial activity, integral part of the national system responsible for developing plans and programs for disaster management, prevention, mitigation, response, rehabilitation and reconstruction. Coordination. There should be coordination amongst all these departments, a variety of sectors to carry out evaluation of the risk, adopt standards and regulations, organize communities and response mechanism, ensure all resources ready and easily mobilized, develop public education programs, coordinate information with news media, disaster simulation exercises. I just spoke to you about how is a disaster response. It's an immediate response. So it's an immediate reaction to disaster as the disaster is anticipated. It's already, we are aware that this disaster is going to happen now and it's going to come. So soon after it begins, in order to assess the needs, reduce the suffering, basically, limit the spread and consequence of the disaster, open up the way to rehabilitation. How can that be done? By mass evacuation. There was an example which was given over here. Search and rescue, emergency medical services, securing food and water. This is a basic need, food, clothing and shelter. Maintenance of law and order. So that also should not be disturbed or disrupted. Last but not the least is rehabilitation. When I talk about rehabilitation, what do I mean about rehabilitation? Rehabilitation is, though this is the last phase of disaster management, the process of disaster management does not end here. This phase involves efforts taken to restore normalcy in the long term. This is a long term process, phase which is long term. This phase may take many years efforts. This may include, see, now the government comes into picture. There are some volunteers who come into a picture, and they work in coordination with one another, or they are in sync with one another to rehabilitate that particular area, to bring those people to normalcy. This may include providing housing. So construction takes a lot of time, taking important decisions regarding economy, some law related things also, wherein their papers have been lost. Uh, what about the children, their schooling, what about the hospitals, basic needs, how they are going to get. So all of that. This may include providing to housing to the affected, taking important decisions regarding economy, agriculture, which have been affected by the disasters. So this disaster management cycle I had already discussed, and I had told you all that there is response, recovery, rehabilitation, preparedness, and mitigation. So what we covered in the disaster management cycle is basically, first it starts with preparedness, then mitigation, then disaster response, recovery, and the last one is rehabilitation. Then there's structural and non-structural measures. What is this? Structural measures include any physical construction to reduce or avoid possible impacts of hazards. It is achieved by or the application of engineering and technology. Definitely these two go hand in hand. So these are the structural measures. So engineering and technology goes into structural measures. Non-structural measures do not involve any physical construction. So there is no physical construction in non-structural measures. What does this include? Knowledge, expertise, practice. There are some drills which take place, and impacts. In particular, it is achieved through policies and laws, public awareness, training, and education. See the disaster impact over here. Disaster response, how is it? The epidemiologic surveillance and disease control, vaccination, nutrition also comes in this response. The rehabilitation phase, what is the rehabilitation phase? Water supply, food safety, basic sanitation, personal hygiene, and vector control, means controlling certain diseases. Disaster management cycle, as what we have covered, this is another cycle or diagram which shows how it works, the recovery phase after a disaster, and how the cycle moves on. Disaster effects, we all know, deaths, there can be permanent disability, there can be spread of communicable diseases, psychological problems, food shortage, socio-economic. See, at the immediate level, these are the effects. Then when you are on state of recovery, or when you move on to rehabilitation stage, then things are different. Socio-economic losses, shortage of drugs and medical supplies, environmental disruption. The last advanced countries, or the most developed countries, they always, I put this particularly slide so that you all know that the advanced countries definitely practice this quite often. What is it? It's disaster drill. A disaster drill is an exercise in which people simulate the circumstances. There is imaginary, I mean, there is a fake situation or circumstance which is created so that the disaster, so that they have an opportunity to practice their responses. At that moment, very point of time when you don't know what to do, you're very new to that situation, so that shouldn't come across. So they have these drills wherein they practice how to behave when certain kind of action takes place and what should be the response of it. So with this we come to an end, students, with a portion of 11th standard 11th and the end of the last chapter, lesson 9. Thank you, students.